Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while since the last video went up on the channel, but today we're unboxing TY Studios' Sesshomaru. It's a 1/6 scale resin statue with a huge diorama base and a lot of intricate pieces. And here you have the TY Studios logo on the art box itself as soon as you open the box. And one of the first things you see whenever you actually unbox the statue is you'll get a nice little art print and a pair of gloves. And let's put this on the turntable and spin it around. The art box for this statue is pretty good all around. You get a nice photo of the statue itself with some overall nice elements of the anime with this little nice nameplate logo on the sides. And the other side is kind of the same, just a close-up on Sesshomaru himself to kind of show you what you're getting out of this box. There's around 188 units that were made, and these are the dimensions of the statue. The material for this statue is like around 90% resin. There are some ABS plastic PVC parts just for stability and for non-breakage purposes, but the majority of the statue is resin and you can definitely feel it. It is heavy. And first up, we have the gloves itself. They are logo branded, which is quite nice. They feel pretty good, pretty standard stuff for resin provided gloves. Now, I personally don't wear gloves whenever I build my resins. I'm always just a bit scared that I'm gonna not have the grip I need and drop something, but it's good they're provided nonetheless. Undoing the straps and moving on to unboxing the statue itself. Now, this is a behemoth of a base. This thing weighs easily 30 pounds. It was a struggle just to lift it out of the box, and you can see tons of great texture work. You can see like the super nice paint job on it as well. You have the green moss paint on the back, which just breathes life into this rock formation. You have some nice skeleton pieces at the front to kind of give that ominous feel. Big key notches where huge pieces of resin are going to key in later. And overall, just from looking at this base, it's got me really excited to build this statue, and it's just gorgeous. And up first is the nice big chain that comes with it. It's got a really good texture work and good paint work all around, but it's pretty flexible, so it shouldn't snap whenever you put it on the base. Overall, really well done piece. It keys in right around the back of the base. Just be a little bit careful when you pull it around the rock and you should be a-okay. And up next is this massive big swooshing effect piece that's painted like a galaxy. It is translucent resin, so it's a bit heavier than normal resin, but the paint job on it is immaculate. It is so pretty to just kind of sit here and stare at it in different types of lighting just to see how much of that flaking metallic paint comes through. And there is this nice cute little galaxy swirl that does key into this big crescent piece. And this will key into the base right here with this huge crescent shaped notch. Just be careful, rock it back and forth, and you should be all set. And this is going to be a short showcase, but this is the huge dog form of Sesshomaru. I could not hold this up to the camera. It was that heavy and that large. So we're just going to go ahead and put it on the base. And he will key in with his front left foot and his rear back foot. Just be careful with their pegs. They are really heavy. So just take your time, go slow, and you should be good to go. And up next is the massive tail to match the massive body we just saw with incredible texture work, incredible paint work, huge key notch, huge peg with a massive bar that runs through the whole tail to make sure it doesn't drip or sag over time. And man, this thing is impressive. How this is all one piece is beyond me. And this will key in obviously right in his butt. So there is a huge key notch that you will just match and just kind of go ahead and rock it back and forth. Once that peg finds the hole, you're good to go. And up next is a simple cloud effect piece with really nice blues for the shadows and grays around where it connects to the base. Overall, well done piece. And it will key in right to the back of the base, right behind Sesshomaru's dog form, right in this little key notch. And now we finally move on to the body of Sesshomaru himself. So we have this gorgeous yellow sash all the way around him, gorgeous texture work on his pants and armor, nice stippling. It really does look like metal, even though it's all resin. The paint job is just absolutely immaculate as well. There is no paint bleed, no nothing, no staining. The shoes look like leather with a nice big key peg down there and a nice rod throughout his body to keep him stable. And we're also going to look at his arm with some beautiful texture work on his kimono. Absolutely gorgeous embossing. Everything in this piece just looks absolutely breathtaking. We have a little hand coming out with some nice nails, all painted separately. And his arm does connect with a magnet and key. And when you go ahead and put him on the base, just make sure both feet line up and you should be good to go. And then we're moving on to the last arm with his huge puff cloud on him. This is really well done. It's a really nice interpretation of this effect piece. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. Great fur texture work. Also same amazing texture from the other arm, as well as a hand that has nice painted nails, and it will key in right to his shoulder. Just make sure not to hit the actual demon dog form behind him because it does rub a little bit. And now we're moving on to the demon dog head itself. This thing is huge with giant fluffy ears. It looks just as cute as it does scary. And around the back, you will see that we have electronics in the head. We have a switch and some batteries, and these make the eyes glow. So it does have red LEDs around the eyes and a nice blood effect piece coming out of the mouth. Overall, super well done. And we do get two, I believe these are blood pieces that will connect around the corners of the mouth. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and magnetize it to the body itself. Just kind of twist it very gently and it'll find its place. And now we have this weird giant worm thing that I'm not too sure what this thing is called, but it has a nasty face sculpt. It is crazy looking, big buggy eyes and nice sharp teeth. Overall, well done with the texture work. You can see bits of the body inside where it was cut in half, and it has a nice magnet and key on the bottom as well. It will go in right in front of the base, right next to the skeleton pieces underneath that swooshing crescent. And this is the remaining part of the other part of the body, and it will key right behind it. It'll key right here to the back of the base. And then we have a nice little M-shaped crescent cloud with some good shading around the tips, just to kind of give it that volume that we're used to with the studio. And it will key kind of right between them and kind of keep that back piece in place. Just kind of keep maneuvering it and it will click in. Then we have this other serpent piece that will key into the crescent itself. And then we have this nice big long smoke effect piece with some good gray shading towards the tip, a nice key, and a huge rod as well. This will key in towards the front near the skeletons as well on the right hand side, and it will just kind of slide in at the bottom. Mine was a little bit hard to get into, so just don't feel scared to apply a little bit of pressure and you're good to go. Now we have the head sculpt of Sesshomaru himself. This is a great representation of Sesshomaru with super crispy hair details, really nice decals around the face, a sharp jawline, really nice key around the neck, and just overall great detail that wasn't lost with casting, and I'm excited to put this on the body. He will key in like so. Just be careful not to scrape the hair on the tail itself. Once you find that keyhole, just press it down, and you are good to go. Now we have another cloud effect piece with a key and a notch. This will go on the demon dog's tail. They are pretty much keyed to only go in one way, so you really can't mess it up. Just take your time. And the next one is a other effect piece with a nice gray shading at the tips like we're used to by this point, with a magnet this time instead of a peg. And now we just have some kind of dirty dust clouds that are being kicked up from the dog itself. Good paint work. And we have two slightly bigger pieces. They're going to go right next to each other. The first two sets are going to go on the paws of the dog form. And the two smaller pieces are going to go basically around the same place, but just on the other side of the paws. This one's a little bit harder to get in. Just kind of use your fingers, maneuver it, and you're good to go. Then we have all of his swords. Now these feel like actual metal. They are quite heavy and they do kind of clang around if you drop them. One will key in the back near his foot. And now we have, I believe this is the Tokijin. This sword is really well done as well with a super nice textured grip. And it does have a fragile threaded piece at the end, so just try not to break it. But the sword itself definitely feels like metal. And he will key in right behind the main sword that he is using. Now, I didn't get to record that part because it was quite frustrating to put in, but basically you're just going to slide just between his hand and the sheath. Then we'll move on to this blue galaxy swirl with this huge resin ball in the middle. This is super well done, really pretty resin with a nice key notch and a magnet. And this will key on the giant crescent from earlier near the top right here. And then there is a smaller red swirl with the same kind of resin ball in the middle. And this also has a key and a magnet as well. And it will key in near the bottom. Then we have a nice infrared signal remote. This is pretty standard for most resins. And then we have the AC power cord. Now this one did not come with a power brick, so you'll have to supply that on your own, but that's not too hard to find. And let's check out the reveal. So overall, my thoughts on the statue, absolutely incredible. Now, it's been a long time since Sesshomaru, or Inuyasha's IP for that matter, has gotten really impressive figures. We've gotten PVC, but the 2 licensed resins we got were honestly just absolutely terrible. I'm not a big fan of how they look, how Inuyasha's face sculpts look. So to see a resin studio take on this IP and really just elevate every design to like the 20th degree is just really impressive to me. Like, Sesshomaru is obviously the first character that everyone starts with because he's one of the most popular every single time that it's pulled. But, they did say that Kikyo is coming next, as well as Inuyasha once he's done shipping to all of the people who bought him. So hopefully sometime early this year, we're going to see a nice reveal for Inuyasha. But hey, if you can pick this up, it is 100% a must-have for any Inuyasha fan. It is the best. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. I do have a couple more videos coming out pretty soon with more resins, and this time they're One Piece related. So if you like that, go ahead and give a like, and I'll see you next time.